3 steps. You're a probationary teacher, you have 3 years to prove yourself. You're a certified teacher, you have 5 more years to become a master teacher. If you don't make that, you're gone. And then what you get to is, because there's no sense in you have a teacher that's taught 10 years and they're making 55–60% of what a teacher that's taught 35 years make, and maybe the 10-year teacher's the better teacher. So we need to change this whole system, and I support throwing the whole thing out. The administration and I have had discussions along this line, and it's radical. I don't think they can implement it this year, but I'm hoping that we make some major changes as we go forward.
Okay, so we've moved on then to the next question. So are you for, Representative DePasquale, paying teachers on performance as opposed to longevity or the number of college credits they have?
I think at a minimum, performance needs to be a more significant part of the equation. I mean, look, if somebody's in their first year versus somebody in their 10th, and somebody's doing a good job in their 10th, I think it's appropriate to give them a higher level of compensation in the first, but I do think performance needs to be a more significant part of the pay scale than it is right now. One thing I just want to throw out, because it's something for all of us to think about. All of this right here was done by the mayor of Washington, D.C. when he brought Michelle Rhee in. All of it. And he got his fanny kicked in his next election. So I'm only saying this is part of the responsibility falls back on us as the electorate as well. He did all of that on the cover of national magazines, American Hero. I mean, literally, Michelle Rhee. She was going to be the next, you know, they were going to be seated at the right hand of God, only they couldn't get out of a primary election 4 years later. So my point is, politics does factor into this. Almost all of these things that get done at the federal and state level, at some level are done because governors and presidents, when they run for office, poll them. And they poll well. But there's an impact later that we're now seeing. I just want to throw out that this is right here. Mayor of Washington, D.C. did all of it and got beat 2-1 in his primary 4 years later.
And the reason is the unions.